Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about today's video because we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things, handbags, and in particular handbag brands that I feel are highly underrated and deserve way more attention and hype. These are bags that are beautiful, high quality, well thought out design wise, and yet they don't rely on a logo to make a statement. And I think there is something quite special about coming across one of these brands that essentially are doing things right. They're focusing on craftsmanship, function, timeless design, and yet they're not on everybody's arm. They're not splashed across every single Instagram feed you've ever seen. They just have a little bit more exclusivity to them, and I think that makes them really, really special. But that being said, I feel like some of these brands should be across more feeds because I am quite surprised that some of these brands are not talked about more. So in today's video, I'll be sharing 7 handbag brands that I think are highly underrated. I own at least one bag from each one of these brands, so I'll do a little bit of a mini review as well, and I'll show you what makes these bags and these brands so good and why they are really, really underrated. So let's get into the handbags, shall we? The first brand I am honestly shocked that I haven't seen more people talk about, and that is Oliada. They are a relatively new brand that is based out of New York, and what really stood out to me is that they feel like true working woman luxury. They are chic and structured, but they're not stiff or corporate whatsoever. The design styles are just incredibly functional and really well thought out, but they're still super, super stylish. They have lots of different design styles and they all feel very intentional. They all have a purpose, and I am really, really impressed with the design direction of the entire brand. So this is the Mini Marina Carryall handbag, and how beautiful is this shade of red? This is the Scarlet shade. And what first struck me about this handbag is that the leather quality feels incredible. I have handbags that are 4 times the price of this one, and the leather quality of this is actually better. It is so soft and beautiful and supple. I absolutely love it. It is just stunning. And the craftsmanship of this handbag is just top notch. This seems to be constructed incredibly well. The details are spot on. The stitching is perfect. Glazing, all of the finishing touches here are just beautifully made. It feels like a really, really high-end handbag, and I feel like this handbag is such a good example of what the brand does overall, because this is very much a handbag that could go from a work meeting straight to a coffee date, and their handbags really strike that balance between contemporary and classic, so they feel very current without being overly trendy. I just feel like the handbag has a bit of that subtle edge, but it doesn't scream for attention. So let's go over some of the details. First of all, outside of the handbag, as you can see, I've turned it around a couple times now. It's really streamlined and elegant, but you have lots of details that make this very functional. First of all, you have a pocket, just a slip pocket in the front here, which is great for carrying just like a phone, a card holder, something you want really easily accessible without faffing around with the zipper. And it is magnetized, so it's not gonna like stay open. And I also just have a little card holder or a pouch that I can illustrate this with. This is also from Oliada, and it just has a button closure. This is a card holder, but I've used this for so many different things like headphones and small little like hair ties or gum or lots of different things really just float around in a handbag. So let me show you. You can just slip this into the card holder pocket at the front of this handbag, just like so, which I think is super cute as well. And then you can actually fasten this so nobody is going to grab it out of your handbag to one of these D-rings, because this handbag has D-rings on each side. The mini size here doesn't come with a strap, but you can attach your own strap. So I have one to just show you that I can just hook that onto the handbag, and you can easily make it a shoulder or a crossbody bag. You can also buy straps from them to kind of personalize it and add the strap that you want to this handbag. Let me just open it up. You have one side pocket that is a little bit more on the narrow side, which would be great for a notebook, things like that. I just love that you have so much organization in this handbag. There aren't any inside pockets in this particular one, but when we open up the other one, you can see this is full of organization. You have 2 slip pockets on this side right here, and then you have a zipper pocket on the other side. You also have one of these little straps with a little clip on to attach your keys. Very, very convenient. It is such a well thought out handbag. And this handbag looks deceptively small. It fits way more than it looks. So obviously I fit all my essentials, my phone, my wallet. I typically will carry a card holder. I carry sunglasses in their case, and I carry some makeup. I can even fit a tiny little makeup pouch in here. I fit a snack. I can fit a notebook, and I love the look of a smaller handbag on myself. I'm a little bit shorter, so I just think it looks a little bit better on me. It's definitely what I prefer. And I love that it looks small, but it fits so many different things. And I did reach out to Oliada, so they told me that they would provide a discount code for anyone who is interested. So if you put in Sandra Oliada, you will get 20% off site-wide, which I think is a really, really generous discount. They also have several of their styles on 40% sale at the moment, which is fantastic. So I'll pop the link and the discount code in the description box if you're interested as well. And this is not sponsored, but they did gift me the handbag to try out and do a review if I wanted to, and I absolutely am beyond impressed with the quality of this. So I am very excited to share it. I think this is a handbag and a brand really that should have way more attention. It definitely deserves hype. It very much feels like a hidden gem if you're into high quality luxury handbags that don't cost the entire arm and leg. Next up, we have a French brand called Evolet, and if you are into understated elegance and a sort of like cool girl vibe, then this is definitely one you should know about. The handbags are made in Italy, and the brand is really focused on creating timeless silhouettes and something that is really high quality but still feels accessible, which I definitely think it is, especially at the quality of these handbags. They have so many different styles and they all feel really timeless. I am so impressed because I find that a lot of brands who try to do the very classic or timeless thing end up being too anonymous or too boring, but these bags have personality and they feel current and they just really elevate the outfit while still being bags that I can see myself carrying for decades. They truly are handbags for the long run, and let me show you the one I have. This handbag is the Le Laurence. I'm so sorry, my French is horrible, so I probably butchered all of these names. Very sorry about that. But this handbag right here I think is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It is such a classic silhouette, but it still feels fresh. This adds so much to my outfits, and I feel like one of the strengths of this handbag is truly how much it can elevate every single outfit I pair it with. I knew I liked the handbag because it's a beautiful one, obviously, look at it, but I was really shocked at how great this works with even the most casual outfits I have. So even just pairing this with jeans and a t-shirt, I feel like it really lifts the entire outfit and it just kind of makes the outfit, and I love a handbag that has that effect, especially without being too much of a statement where I feel like I can't repeat wear it. But this one works from anything from running errands really to pairing as a perfect wedding guest little handbag. It has such a good size. It's a fairly small handbag because it is a bit narrow, but I fit all of my essentials in here, and it is a really, really good smaller sized handbag. I think there is a modernity to the lines and the details, the proportions of these handbags that make them feel current without being too trendy. And of course, I absolutely love the craftsmanship. This bag is so well made. I have, as you can see, the ivory one in a glossy finish. This is in a patent leather, and I just want to show you the attention to detail that has gone into creating this handbag. First of all, one of my favorite things, I know it sounds silly, but the clasp on this handbag feels so unique. So you have this little pin that just slides to open up the little U shape of the clasp. I think it is so unique, and it's one of those things that make the brand a little bit recognizable but not too in your face. I just think it is such a subtle and gorgeous detail. And when we open up the handbag, you can see inside. One of the things I really appreciate about the design of this one is that it doesn't have one of those dividing lines in the middle. This one only has that little slim slip pocket in the back, which obviously doesn't take any space. And then the rest is just open, so you can fit as much as possible into it. And this handbag is also lined with suede. You know, I love when brands do that. It just is such a luxurious finish. This one also has some D-rings on the inside because it comes with a strap, making it really, really versatile. Let me show you. And you can see this bag kind of folds out a little bit. So the straps actually go at the side of the flap here, like that, which I just think looks really good. Again, pointing to the fact that they have put so much thought into how they decided to design this handbag. And considering the price of this, I am well impressed with all of the details. Not a single stitch is out of place. The glazing is absolutely perfect. And they make this in so many beautiful colors. It's a brand I think is well worth checking out. I am super impressed and kind of surprised that I haven't seen more of it, really. It definitely deserves way more attention and hype. The next brand on my list is Demellier. If you have been on my channel recently, you know I just did an unboxing of one of their handbags. I'll show you that in a second. I think this is a brand that definitely deserves more hype. One thing that really stands out to me is the very thoughtful design they have, and I think the bag I'm going to show you is a perfect example of this. These designs have a little bit of extra to them, so they're more than just being a super simple classic silhouette. They have put a little bit of thought into creating something that feels a little bit more special or unique without being too over the top. I think they are fantastic pieces for elevating everyday outfits without going overboard. They have really found a great balance there. It's also a brand that is focusing on creating high quality products, and they use premium leathers. They're produced in Europe. Now, let me show you the handbag that I have, that I just did an unboxing of not too long ago. This is the New York Midi Tote. So this is the smaller of the two, and I have been looking at this handbag for a while. I think it is such a stunning design. Again, it's not too over the top. It's very much a handbag you can wear on a daily basis. I think it really shines in elevating those more casual everyday outfits. I did put this in my summer capsule wardrobe. I think it really is fantastic for that because it just goes with so many different things. It's a really practical handbag. As you can tell from the unboxing, I was a little bit worried this was going to be too small when I initially unboxed it, but it has been a fantastic size. And this as well has a strap that you can attach or detach, and it has some extra details to add style to the handbag, like this little clasp, little button thing in the front. Doesn't actually do anything, but it's all of these details that add to the handbag looking a little bit more elevated, a little bit more interesting. I think their pieces just feel really effortless without being boring. And just as a mini review of this handbag, I obviously haven't worn it that long because I just unboxed it, but so far I am really impressed. The leather feels really nice. It's not overly stiff, it's not overly soft, so it really helps the bag hold its structure. And I love the grain in it as well. It's giving the handbag a little bit more of a sort of casual look, I think. It just is stunning. The little bit of hardware is elevating the handbag, and I feel like this is something I see with a lot of their styles, that the hardware really is such a well thought out part of the design. And I feel like you get so much handbag for your money, both in terms of the company values, in terms of the quality of the leather and the craftsmanship, but also in the design style, which is something I will talk more about throughout this video. I think a lot of these brands are really good at coming up with their own style. They're not just copying a higher end designer. They're really creating something beautiful and unique in their own right, and I think this one is just stunning. So even though this brand is gaining in popularity, especially on social media, it's a brand I also feel like even more people should know about. So if you haven't heard about it, now you have. Next up, we have a brand that has featured a lot on my channel. I absolutely love them, and that is RSVP Paris. This brand is such a hidden gem. They are a small French brand, and all of their handbags are handmade and produced in limited batches. So they only make 500 bags of each model in each colorway, and I think that makes it really special. Every bag is numbered as well, and I think it's really cool that they are trying to stay more exclusive. And what I think truly makes this brand underrated to me is the sort of more playful take they have on luxury. It's very much a blend of quality and character. Most of their bags feel a bit architectural in design, but they're still just really fun. Both of these have featured fairly heavily on my channel. So first up, we have the one I've had the longest. This is the Munchkin bag. How cute is this? It truly lives up to its name. It is absolutely, it's adorable, it's tiny, but because it has a wide base, this actually fits my essentials. I have used this so much. It's really structured and adds so much playfulness to my outfits for being essentially just a flap bag. And this is in the grained leather. It has been really, like, I don't have a single scratch on it. It feels really resistant to scratches. And another thing I really appreciate about this brand, as with so many of these, but it's the attention to detail, and you see this so much with RSVP Paris. Their logo is everywhere on the hardware without being too much or too in your face. It's so subtle. I think it is really well done. So they have it on the sides here, on the clasps. They have it even at the top of these little circles here. And they also have it embossed underneath the handbag. I think it is so clever the way they have the branding everywhere, but also not really. You can't really tell when you're just holding the handbag. Now, the newer one I have is this one. This is called the Low 5. I absolutely love this handbag. I have been reaching a lot for this recently. It just is such a great summer bag. As you can see, this is quite roomy. It has a really, really good size. I feel like this bag is fantastic. It has that really beautiful line. It's very sculptural. It feels, as I mentioned, almost a bit architectural. It just feels super, super luxurious without taking itself too seriously. If I can say that about a handbag, I definitely want to say it about all of the RSVP Paris handbags. One of the things I love about this one is the fact that it has this little extra fabric with a drawstring, so you can actually close this, because one of my sort of pet peeves with bucket bags is how unsafe they are, in terms of like it's really easy to be pickpocketed when you wear them. But this one can be closed really tight, and you can even put the straps inside, so it just is a lot more secure without having that drawstring look at the top. I know some people love it. It's not for me. I love the clean lines of this handbag. It just is giving my outfits that instant like cool girl effect. I think it adds so much to my outfits without being over the top. I think these bags are fantastic for those more casual and everyday types of outfits. They just really lift them and add so much interest. And I can't talk about RSVP Paris without also mentioning their Milkman bag. I think that's what it's called. Has to be one of the cutest handbags I've ever seen. It is adorable, and talking about not taking itself too seriously, this handbag is so much fun. I feel like it's such a conversation starter. They just bring so much playfulness, and yet you have a bag that is really high quality and is definitely absolutely luxury. I think their bags just have such a unique blend of sophistication and fun, and I think it's something really different on the market. And this one, as with the Munchkin bag, the details are just excellent. This has also a white contrast stitch. It has branding again on these clasps, on the little rings at the side here as well. And if we look inside, it's not really taking up any space with any pockets or anything. It's completely plain on the inside, so you can just fit all of your things. It's fairly deep, so I can fit a ton in here. And just as with the Munchkin handbag, both of these are fantastic quality. This one I have in the smooth leather. I really wanted to try something different from the grained leather, and it is fantastic as well. I can't wait to see how this wears over time. But there is something about this bag that makes it feel like classic, in a way that if you get a little bit of wear on it, it's just going to look better. Does that make sense? Hopefully someone else gets what I mean by that. Some bags just really suit being a little bit more worn, and I feel like this is going to be one of those. Honestly, the details from RSVP Paris, they are absolutely so on it. I'm really, really impressed with the brand. Absolutely love their handbags, so I can highly recommend checking them out. Now, we have covered sort of functional bags and timeless silhouettes and work bags and a little bit more of that playful luxury with RSVP Paris, but let's just steer full into the playful, fun, slight craziness, because the next brand we are going to talk about is called Gaia, and I know this is probably one of the more recognizable brands on this list. However, I feel like they are known for their, like, especially the bamboo clutch. The brand has really evolved. They are known for statement pieces. I think they make some fantastic more wearable bags as well, but what I love them for is the fact that they are providing handbags that truly feel like wearable art, especially their acrylic clutches, which just feel like wild, and they completely make an outfit. And I feel like this is the kind of piece you're not going to wear on a daily basis, so it doesn't matter if this is your special occasion clutch, because it's just going to work every single time. I have two handbags from them. I have one very wearable one and one completely mad one. Shall we do the wearable one first? But this is one of their basket bags. I love this one. They did 2 sizes, and I wanted something that felt a little bit more unique, a little bit more special than just a simple basket bag. And I think they do that really well. They have some tote bags that are sort of in that similar vein, where they just have details that make the bags a little bit more interesting, and they just feel a little bit more of a statement piece. And I love a brand that is doing some sort of like out there things just to create something that is a little bit cool and interesting to look at, although it doesn't necessarily make the handbag more practical. Let me show you what is by far the least practical handbag I own. And I just unboxed this the other day, so I'm going to post that video soon if you want to have a closer look at it and see everything. But I could not include it in this handbag list because it just is such a good example of what Cult Gaia is, I think. Here we have the Florence bag, which, yes, it looks like a flower vase because this is just a sculptural piece that is essentially, and I think they describe it as wearable art as well. It is so unique. Nobody else is going to have this, but it actually is totally usable. It is a handbag that opens up. Doesn't even fit a phone, but you can fit your card and a lipstick and maybe a key in there. But I think as a special occasion clutch and something that just feels totally wild and totally out there, and if you want something that nobody else is going to have, Cult Gaia has so many different bags. They have a lot of fruit themed handbags as well. So they have a clutch that is just a bit of grapes, and they have an apple. They also have a beautiful seashell that is in raffia. They have so many beautiful styles that are just out there if you want something that truly feels like art. And I feel like Cult Gaia is a fantastic mid-range designer brand that really lands at the point where you can justify a spend for something that feels this unique and this special, something where it's been put a lot of thought and creativity into the design, but it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg and maybe a second leg. I just think it is such a slept on designer. I love supporting a brand that is putting so much creativity into something that doesn't necessarily feel really commercial or really safe. And I think it's just incredible. I love the brand, and both of the handbags I have from them are just beautiful quality. I don't feel like I'm just paying for a mad idea here. The attention to detail is beautiful, and however they made these flowers, I'm really impressed because they look so realistic. Love this bag. Might be my favorite bag that I own, and also the one I'm going to wear the least. I know that, but I am completely fine with it. And if the last couple of bags were a little bit too bold for you, I think you're going to love this next brand because APC is one of my go-tos for really sort of understated elegance, really quiet luxury, that really minimal design that just stands out because of the craftsmanship. So if you've been on my channel for a while, I'm sure you have heard about the APC Grace handbag. I absolutely love mine. I think it is such a beautiful handbag. It's one of their more popular styles, but I still think it is a really underrated handbag brand. They do several different handbag styles, they do different sizes, they do really beautiful and several classic colors as well. So they do that very clean, timeless, sort of almost retro inspired design so incredibly well. As you can see, this is a super simple design style, and this box bag is one that I bought because I wanted this style of Celine handbag, which has a big logo in the middle, and it is what, 4 times the price, I think, and I just couldn't justify spending that amount of money. I now feel like this was a better purchase, not in just in terms of money, but especially because it's not relying on a logo to be the star of the bag, essentially. This is still a beautiful, well-made handbag that adds so much to my outfits. And this one is really compact, but it fits my essentials. It is small though, and it is super structured, so I expect this to hold up for many years to come, but you can't fit a ton of things in it. There is a bigger size as well. If you're considering this handbag, I would recommend not going with an even smaller one. I've had some of you comment as well that it was just simply too small, and this is really the smallest I can go in terms of a smaller handbag and still fit my essentials. But I think it is a gorgeous style, and the slightly sort of shiny box leather adds so much sort of sophistication to my outfits. It works with more casual outfits to just dress them up, and it works with more dressy outfits as well. One of my favorite things is how this opens. You just push on the clasp here and it opens up, and the bag is so structured. One thing I'm not super keen on is that I wish it just had one compartment instead of these extra pockets, but it is giving the bag a lot of structure, so I suppose maybe that's why they've done it. I'm not entirely sure. But there is so much stitching on this handbag and it all just looks beautiful. I've had this bag for I think close to 2 years now, year and a half maybe, and it's just holding up beautifully. I've used it a lot. I am careful with it to not get too many scratches on it, and the metal has scratched a little bit. But I love the very, very minimal design of this. The branding is so, so small. There is just a tiny little logo at the front here. And all of the details, as with the other bags, I'm sorry, I'm starting to sound like a broken clock, but they just are beautifully finished and the stitching is fantastic. The lacing is gorgeous. If you want something that is really well made, something that is high quality, but you don't want to pay 4 times the price to actually get it, I think APC is a great bet. We are at the very end of this list, and the last brand I want to talk about is an Italian brand named Coccinelle. Coccinelle. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, apologies for that. But this is a brand that has been around for a while, and yet it still flies under the radar for most people, myself included. I just very recently got the chance to try this brand and I am really, really impressed. The quality is really impressive and they do a great job of balancing fashion forward elements with more classic silhouettes. So the bag that I have today, I forget what the model of this is actually called. I am borrowing this off a friend. I have been intrigued by the brand and I wanted to try it out, and I really enjoy it. This isn't a very old bag, but it still is in fantastic condition. As you can see, this is obviously a cutout basket bag, and I think the design of this is very much making this brand seem like a high-end designer. It's really cool. And the first thing that really struck me is the fact that the leather feels like beautiful quality. It's really soft, it's really nice, but considering that there are so many cut out pieces of this piece of leather, I am so impressed by how structured this is. This has kept its shape now for a few months and it's just really holding up, being really beautiful. And the leather is just really structured without being overly stiff. I think the material selection for this handbag is just really good. Everything again just seems like it's made to be a much higher price point than what it is. So I am super impressed. They do have several styles that I have been very intrigued to try. So I was really pleased when I was allowed to lend this for a little while to check out whether this was something I want to invest in or not. And I am really surprised that not more people are talking about them. They have some really beautiful fashion forward styles that are still really wearable. They have some beautiful top handle bags that I have been eyeing up, and I'm just really excited to look more into this brand. So although this is not one that I personally own, I still wanted to share it because I have been really impressed with it. I definitely think this deserves a little bit more attention than what it has been getting. Just a stunning bag. The quality, like the stitching and all of the hardware, looks like it's at a very different price point, which is definitely what we are after in this video. So I'm going to put this down now. It's a long video already, so my last little thing about these handbags, I am so impressed with all of them. I love that they're all filling a different gap in a way in my wardrobe, and I'm really impressed with the leather quality and the amount of craftsmanship that is put into all of these handbags. I think they are truly underrated, and if you want a handbag that not everyone has, and especially if you want a handbag where the money has gone into a really well thought out design and really high quality craftsmanship, I think all of these brands are worth your time and attention. I'd love to hear which brand and which handbag is your favorite, and if you think I missed any off of this list, please do let us all know in a comment down below. I wanted to only include handbags that I have personal experience with. If you're not subscribed yet and you are into handbag content and capsule wardrobes and building a high quality wardrobe, that is what we're all about on this channel. I'd love to have you as part of the community, so please consider subscribing if that is for you. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!